Now at 8 o'clock, a live look this morning from North Portland. More than 100 workers at Legacy Health on strike. We're going to have the latest on who these workers are exactly, more on their negotiations, and another live look from the picket line coming up in just a moment. Plus,
it is your job to identify the needs of the community, and when you don't, then you must listen to those hurting and act decisively.
The city of Salem is the latest to declare a state of emergency over immigration enforcement, why some community members say this is not enough.
And later this hour, we're talking about a local cat shelter that's asking for a little extra help this holiday season. It's part of our Giving Tuesday coverage on this Tuesday morning. The 8 o'clock hour of Sunrise starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. And we're joined by these two fellas, Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis, with a look at weather and traffic to kick off the hour.
I got more moves. Usually Chris has more moves than I have. I don't think I have the moves this morning. Okay, well, C just showed me up just like that. All right, we have some showers in the area. It's pretty quiet overall, though. And if you look at the radar, it's mostly precipitation up in the Cascades right now. There have been some showers out over the Blues this morning as well. Here's a closer look at Doppler radar. There are some breaks in the cloud cover along the coast at this hour. Salem has barely had a trace of rain, and this is the wettest part of our day, by the way. I think this afternoon will go mainly dry. In fact, Salem right now, this has been the brightest camera over the past 30 minutes. There's the state capitol. 41 is the current temperature. Here's the Wells Fargo camera, more of a gray look, but mainly dry in the city right now and comfortable. Remember yesterday we were freezing. We're at 44 right now. At the top of the hour, PDX did report a raindrop out along the Columbia River. This afternoon we'll go mid to upper 40s, not much wind, some breaks opening up. All in all, a pretty quiet day for December 2nd. Chris is watching the roads.
Yeah, and Rod, thanks for that. We've got a traffic alert right now on the east side of Vancouver, I-205 southbound. I don't see it here on camera, but there is a crash here south of Mill Plain. And the drive right now is really starting to back up. This has just happened in the last 10 minutes or so, and you can see I-205 south traffic really starting to build pretty quickly. I'll show you that drive time in just a second. I-84 out near the Gateway District, that of course slow and steady coming in from 205. Right now the drive in from Troutdale is a solid 32 minutes. And as we mentioned, the I-205 drive, I'm actually thinking that's a misprint because the I-205 commute is really starting to stack up here. We'll keep our eyes on that. Of course, I-5 is up to 30 minutes or almost that to get you in from Hazeldale. Guys?
We wish it was that fast, Chris. All right, let's get back to our top story this hour. This is a live look from North Portland outside Legacy Emmanuel Hospital. 2 hours ago, right at 6 o'clock, more than 100 advanced practice providers at Legacy hospitals hit the picket line. So this is a strike that involves nurse practitioners and physician associates, among others, at Legacy Emmanuel and Legacy Good Samaritan Hospital. The Oregon Nurses Union represents these workers. They say they've been negotiating a new contract for nearly 2 years. Right now, they're holding a press conference, answering questions from reporters about why they decided to go on strike today. We actually talked to some of these workers earlier this morning.
I think the staff inside is really upset that we're out here. They rely on us to get a lot of the work done throughout the day. Right now, all of us are out here. And Legacy has chosen to allow that to happen.
So obviously that is one side of the story. As far as Legacy is concerned, they say they've offered a 10% pay increase already, and they also say they'll continue to bargain in good faith.
We are the capital city of the incredible state of Oregon, and you are its leaders and supposed to be the trusted adults in the room. It is your job to identify the needs of the community, and when you don't, then you must listen to those hurting and act decisively.
Dozens of community members spoke at Salem City Council meeting last night, calling for an end to ICE arrests using tactics they say are unconstitutional. In a 6-3 vote, Salem has passed an emergency declaration over ICE activity. This vote comes after Washington County and the city of Hillsborough both declared a state of emergency in response to ICE detainments and enforcement last month. The declaration in Salem directs city leaders to consider starting programs to protect community members and calls for training of city employees on the sanctuary law. It does not direct city funding to support immigrants, something that people, though, asked for at last night's meeting.
When we are being kidnapped and disappeared, symbolic proposals do not protect us. Material ones do. We need a financial investment to support the victims of ICE.
The council voted last week to reaffirm the city's support of state sanctuary law, which bars local government from assisting federal immigration work.
We're also hearing from the family of a Vancouver man this morning who says federal agents detained him on Thanksgiving. They say Luis Exchop was making food deliveries in Vancouver on Thanksgiving morning along with his partner of 10 years, Brenda Coronado. According to Coronado, they were pulled over and ICE agents arrested them both, even though she says she has a green card. Coronado says she was eventually let go, but the agents kept Exchop, who does not have legal status.
They were like just laughing, saying, "Happy Thanksgiving." And I turned around and I was like, how is that going to be a happy Thanksgiving? How is that? You're taking my other half. You're breaking us apart.
Exchop's family says he's been in the hospital because of his blood pressure since his detainment. They also say he has a DUI on his record from years ago, but claim that he has no other run-ins with the law. We reached out to ICE for comment about this, but haven't heard back.
All right, getting through airport security is about to get more complicated and expensive for passengers trying to travel without a real ID. So starting in February, passengers 18 and up will now have to pay $45 and use an ID verification system called TSA Confirm ID. That's only if you don't have a real ID or other forms of accepted identification like an enhanced ID or a passport. Before going through TSA, you'll have to go online, apply, and pay the fee. You can also pay at the airport, but you might be waiting an extra half hour. If approved, it will cover a 10-day period, and then you'll have to go do it again. In other news, Portland Mayor Keith Wilson says he reached his goal of adding 1,500 shelter beds by December 1st. Now, during his campaign, Mayor Wilson pledged to end unsheltered homelessness in a video statement. Wilson said that the city must now, quote, channel its energy into long-term solutions. The beds are spread across multiple sites citywide with the opportunity to increase capacity. More locations are expected to be announced this week.
Changes are on the way here in Portland involving how much people have to pay to run for city office. Starting with next year's election cycle, the cost is going to go up to file for the offices of mayor, city councilor, and auditor. There will also be a simplified waiver to remove the fee for any candidate who qualifies as low income, and anyone who collects 500 signatures from Portland voters can also have the fee waived. We've been talking all morning about the fact that today is Giving Tuesday, an annual event that serves as a day-long fundraiser for nonprofits.
So this morning we're highlighting one local organization that's asking for help to continue to feed the people in need. Libby Dowsett joins us live in Southwest Portland with more on their story. Libby.
And China, we're talking about Potluck in the Park, which has been serving warm meals in downtown every Sunday for 3 decades. This is the center right here where they prep all the food to take down to the park blocks. Now, one of the issues they're facing is paying for all the forks, knives, plates, and cups for up to 500 people who are now showing up for food. Multiple grocery stores help provide not yet expired meat, produce, and bakery items for the weekly meal service, and those willing to stand in line for the Sunday event. But Potluck in the Park still needs donations for cutlery and serving supplies to help hand off those meals as more people come back week after week.
You know, we have a lot of guests who will frequent us every Sunday and then take a break and then come back and say, we're so happy you're still here. So.
And it's back in the walk-in.
According to the Potluck crew, since 1992, they've never skipped serving a Sunday meal. They prep the meals right here at their kitchen and storage pantry, and they want to make sure to have enough to keep up with that growing need in downtown, which they expect to only grow in the coming months. And they are also prepping for their annual Christmas Day dinner, which they have at the Portland Art Museum with a big tree, jazz music, and lots of turkey to go around for everyone. It goes from noon to 3 on Christmas Day. Anyone is welcome, and anyone is welcome to make a donation. Back to you guys.
All right, Libby Dowsett live for us this morning there, talking about Potluck in the Park, one of the nonprofits that hopes to get a lot of money today on this Giving Tuesday. I will tell you, my sons have actually volunteered at that Potluck in the Park. Yeah, they're part of something called Young Men's Service League. I will tell you, it's about doing good in the community. I will also tell you, Rod and Shina, it looks good on a college application.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've been doing this community work for 4 years, trying to, help out.
Get it in there.
Yeah,
Themselves and others.
good for them. Yeah, the Carney Boys.
The Carney Boys.
All right, here we go. We have showers moving inland. Most of today's rain that falls will be right now, and right now there's just simply not a lot of it. We're seeing breaks in the cloud cover along the coast at this hour. The current batch of rain is mostly east of Portland and up into the Cascades. It is a snow level of 4,000 feet, but it's light stuff up there. Earlier I showed you some breaks in the cloud cover up in Gerhardt. Here's the Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City, of course, down along our central beaches. And you can see some nice breaks in the cloud cover opening up there as well, 45. Pretty solid cloud deck overall from the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha, Washington County. 44, reporting some light showers at the top of the hour. Other numbers, Forest Grove 38, Sherwood 39, but we're mostly holding at 40 or a little bit better. So you'll notice about a 10-degree temperature swing compared to that freezing chill we had yesterday morning. Salem 41, been looking at some early morning sun over the capital this morning. Weather map later today, kind of typical stuff for December 2nd. Sun breaks opening up here on the west side, upper 40s to low 50s, including the coast. Colder day out east. A lot of you will stay shy of 40 today with cloudiness and some ongoing threats of light rain or some snow flurries in the air. 7-day forecast, pretty quiet weather tomorrow, 48 degrees, maybe some light rain late in the day, but basically we expect our rainy pattern to return starting Thursday, and then that will be rain at times with comfortable temperatures into the weekend. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. We pick it up with a traffic alert on the east side of Vancouver, I-205 southbound near the 10th Street overpass. Washed out dealing with a crash here. 2 lanes blocked at this point. So I-205 southbound now is really backing up from right around 10th Street all the way back to SR 500. Give yourself some extra time there. You can see the speed sensor show we're moving along at less than 10 miles an hour on that stretch of I-205. Hopping over to the other side of town, on the Oregon side anyway, westbound I-84 slow and steady coming in through the Gateway District, and that's normal for this hour of a Tuesday morning drive. Over on the west side, there's the Sunset out near Murray Boulevard. That eastbound drive from Hillsborough is up to about 27 minutes at last check. China?
Thank you, Chris. Coming up on Sunrise, a team of U.S. officials are set to meet with President Vladimir Putin. This as U.S. pushes for a peace plan. And before you know it, winter is arriving with some part of town near freezing temperatures this week. After the break, we have some tips on how to prep your home to avoid costly repairs this winter.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
It's now December, which means it's time to start preparing for the winter.
Just yesterday, China Green told us that she's preparing her house for the winter season by putting up a Christmas tree with no decorations on it.
That's true.
Meanwhile, KGW's Joe Ranieri has some other tips for how to get your house ready for colder weather.
As you get ready to do a little Christmas shopping over the next couple of weeks, the one store you might want to put on top of your priority list is the hardware store. Make sure you're all ready for winter. I'm talking the styrofoam vent shades as well as the styrofoam faucet covers to protect your pipes during the cold winter months. The aisles of Ankeny Hardware in southeast Portland are bare with customers, but the shelves are packed with what everyone needs to get ready for winter.
We're seeing a few. Portlanders are wonderful, but they never seem to get prepared. They always seem to get prepared on the day that it hits.
On Monday morning, PDX saw its first freeze of fall as temperatures dipped down to 30 degrees. And while it's a shock to the body, it can also be a shock to your home if it's not ready.
This time of year, what you want to make sure you do is you have your faucet covers on. So you want to make sure you have foam faucet covers on your faucets. They're easy to do. They'll let it get down to probably close to zero without freezing your valve or freezing your pipes. People say, do you have stuff for winter? We stock about 80,000 pounds of ice melt.
Norman Schused with Ankeny Hardware says it's also important to wrap any outdoor pipes that might be exposed to the elements.
So this splits in half. If you need to make cuts, you just cut it at 45s and that way it blends together.
Yeah, these are just insulators you just put on your...
Rick Graves with Portland Fire says the department gets dozens of calls after pipes start freezing up and busting, which can cause homeowners thousands in repairs.
We can run hundreds of these water problem calls, and it just typically runs from the west side of town to the east side of town. It just seems to warm up over there first and come this way. Yeah, so water key.
It's also important to know how to shut off your water.
Let's go. And this is where the meter is. We could totally use help from the homeowner to know where their shutoff is at the street or on the interior.
Just in case.
It's not that expensive to be prepared.
Another tip to protect your house during the cold winter months is to replace the filter in your furnace. I like to do mine, in fact, every couple times of year, starting the beginning of every season. That way there's no surprises. In Southwest Portland, Joe Ranieri, KGW News.
That happened to me once, Drew. Sorry. No. My flipping pipe, the one to the outdoor at the garden hose was hooked into, that went the outside exterior wall in the garage, and the pipe burst, and I had to get a plumber to come out, and it was way back when, but it was hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get it fixed.
I mean, home ownership is cool. It's exciting, especially if you're a young person and you've never been able to do so before. You finally maybe achieve the opportunity to own a home, and then you realize it comes with a lot of freaking headaches.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of headaches.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those headaches aren't mine. They're my husband's.
Oh, no, they're yours, China. You're married to the headaches.
That's
you
his
share
job.
the headaches.
We have roles in the household. He does all the fixing and the building and the winterizing, and I do the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry. And I like to stay inside doing my roles.
That
where
seems
it's
actually
warm.
pretty well divided.
Yes, I'm not doing bug spraying. He does that. Bless his heart, because I hate bugs.
He goes outside with a can, like. Wow. All right.
He's a good husband.
All right.
Pretty good.
You go. I take out the trash, you know.
Oh, he also.
I also make sure that I'm known as. I've shared this with you. My nickname in the Hill household is I am the
Mr. Do Nothing.
Toilet paper fairy. I'm the one that always makes sure all the bathrooms have plenty of toilet paper in them.
That is the weirdest job I've ever heard.
That's me, man. Do I look like the toilet paper fairy?
You don't want that answer.
Here's a look at clouds spilling in to the northwest. Not so much today. I mean, we do have this weak system coming in, but we'll get more clouds coming in tomorrow. Eventually, this will turn into some developing rain on Thursday. There's a front on Friday. There's another one on Sunday. So for your outdoor planning purposes, we're really pretty quiet today, really pretty quiet tomorrow, and then rain at times Thursday into your weekend. It is a mild weather flow overall. Lowest snow levels actually happening right now, and that's some light snow falling down at about 4,000 feet. A few showers, snowflakes even out east. Most of the precipitation for the past hour here in the west side has been, not all of it, but most of it has been kind of bouncing up into the Cascades. Here is that Timberline camera. Let it snow, let it snow. You can see it coming down. But it's so far literally just a dusting in the parking lot. That's it. 28 is the temperature. Government camp continues to look good, 33. The one pass that's a little dicey, you can see that is some new snow and maybe some slush on the roadway, and just below freezing at 31 degrees, that's a Santiam pass. But this is just a morning thing. In the afternoon, we go back to mainly dry and temperatures will bump up and all those pass highways will become clean. Sunniest camera of the morning. Hello, Salem. Yep, that's you. There's the state capitol, 41 degrees. Temperatures outside 41 in Salem, 36 degrees in Eugene. And moving forward today, it looks like we're going to be up into the mid to upper 40s for highs. Few showers, mainly this morning. Sun breaks this afternoon. Tomorrow's quiet, 48. Could be some light rain late in the day. But really, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday that we get back into a rainy pattern. Look at the temps, though. I mean, Saturday is 46 to start and 53 to finish, so pretty mild weather upcoming. And that is your forecast. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks. We pick it up with that traffic alert on the east side of Vancouver. So I-205 southbound right now, washed out dealing with a crash that has 2 lanes blocked near the 10th Street overpass. So that's just prior to SR 14, and you can see what it's doing to the drive right now. This is at Mill Plain. We'll take you a little farther north, really puttering along here at about 8 to 10 miles an hour, and that's slowing. This is a snapshot now up on the north side of not far from Paddon Parkway. So 205 south, I think the drive time here is, there we go. Okay, never mind the 12. It was 37 minutes a couple of minutes ago. I think our drive sensors are flopping around a little bit, but 40 minutes is more accurate right now to get you from Paddon Parkway to Interstate 84. We'll be right back.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
A team of U.S. officials are in Moscow this morning for a meeting with Vladimir Putin.
They are making a high-stakes push for an end to the war in Ukraine. Keir Simmons has the latest.
This morning, the U.S. delegation set to meet President Putin, leaving a Moscow airport in a motorcade, continuing to push a U.S.-backed peace proposal revised after days of negotiations with Ukraine.
I think the administration feels very optimistic.
Ahead of the meeting, the Kremlin releasing footage of Putin in military uniform, being briefed on the war, appearing emotional over the, quote, slaughter of Ukrainian soldiers by his own Russian troops, but blaming Kyiv for the deaths. Putin, who ordered the invasion of Ukraine, calling it a tragedy for the Ukrainian people. Outside the American embassy in Moscow, Russians telling us they want peace, but not at any price.
I believe the end of this war is near.
You think the end of the war is near?
I believe that, yeah.
You hope so?
Yeah, I hope.
Everybody is just tired of it, of the casualties, of the victims, this man says. After negotiations with the Ukrainian delegation in Florida, both the US and Ukraine called them constructive, but said there was more work to be done.
We are discussing about the future of Ukraine, about the security of Ukraine, about no repetition of aggression of Ukraine.
President Zelensky stressing the importance of security guarantees, shoring up support from allies. In Ireland today, after meeting with President Macron in France, Zelensky warning the topic of territories looks most difficult. President Putin insisting any deal must hand land to Russia after saying last week, if they don't withdraw, we'll achieve this by force. Analysts say Russia is making battlefield gains, but adding Ukraine's front line is not facing imminent collapse, and that gaining the territory Putin is demanding would likely take years.
Now to your morning rush. The White House has confirmed that the U.S. did launch a second strike on an alleged drug boat from Venezuela in September. That second strike killed anyone who survived the initial strike on the vessel, an act some lawmakers and legal experts have called a war crime. The White House also confirming the second strike was ordered by Admiral Frank Bradley, not Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. The World Health Organization is now recommending GLP-1 drugs for adults with obesity, marking a shift in guidance on how the organization has historically approached obesity. But the organization says the drugs like Ozempic, Zepbound, Wegovy, they're not a singular answer here and should be combined with a healthy diet, physical activity, and counseling for long-term treatment. And Starbucks has agreed to a $38.9 million settlement for violating New York City's Fair Work Week law. The city found Starbucks committed more than $500,000 in the last 4 years, denying thousands of workers at more than 300 stores the right to stable and predictable schedules. And that's your morning rush.
Coming up at 8:30, Portland area officials announced the first arrest under a new anti-burglary task force in Multnomah County. We're going to take a closer look at this particular case and the difference this new task force is making. Plus, the Olympic torch making its way to Italy ahead of the Winter Games next year, so we'll take a look at the journey and the Olympics' long history in Italy.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm Drew Carney. More than 100 advanced practice providers with Legacy Health hit the picket line this morning. The Oregon Nurses Union represents these workers who include nurse practitioners and physician associates at Legacy Emmanuel and Legacy Good Samaritan hospitals. Legacy Health says it's already offered these workers a 10% pay increase and will continue to bargain in good faith. All right, Rob, what do you have for us?
Well, we've had some rain. A lot of us have either just had a trace or nothing. And right now the radar is pretty much lit up on the east side, getting up in the Cascades. You get farther to the east and you find some sunshine. Good morning to you folks out in the Dalles. Here's the Oregon Veterans Home camera. Not much wind out in the gorge today. Temperatures will be in the 40s. There's Sun River Resort also showing a nice partly cloudy morning with the shadows there. Central Oregon mainly dry today, and they'll be in the 40s. Portland currently 44. Our shower chance kind of fizzles during the morning hours. Later today we'll be looking at some sun breaks. We get up to about 48. Pretty quiet day tomorrow, and then we get back to a rainy pattern starting Thursday. Occasional periods of rainy weather into the weekend.
We start this half-hour sunrise with penguins at the London Zoo, counting down the days until Christmas. And they've got their own calendar instead of chocolate. The calendar is filled with their favorite treat of small fish. These penguins, by the way, are called Humboldt penguins. They're notoriously clumsy on land, which I love. But in the water, they are much more graceful, swimming at speeds of up to 30 miles an hour. Quick.
That's fast, right? 30 miles an hour?
They look so
You could ski behind a penguin at that speed.
clumsy on land.
Fastest land mammal. Anyone? Anyone?
Jaguar.
Yes.
Mammal?
Fastest land mammal.
I'll say dolphin. Oh, land mammal.
Fastest land mammal. What'd you say?
Cheetah.
Birds aren't mammals, right?
Cheetah.
He got it.
Okay.
Jaguar.
Yeah.
Cheetah.
I was going to say peregrine falcon. But
I got it.
I think cheetahs go like 70 miles an hour.
They're fast.
A little faster than 30.
I was racing one once, and it was close.
You're still here?
Cheetah won.
Till that second quarter mile.
Yeah,
Right?
that turn got you.
It was that second of the race that really had me falling behind. Here's a look at our radar. We've got showers moving, dropping down. There's still a few little traceable amounts of rain popping across the Portland area. Most of this really fires up a little bit into the Cascades, where we have a dusting of snow in the parking lot up at Timberline. And Santiam Pass shows a little bit of snow, but generally we think traveling over the high country will be okay today. Here's Salem. It's been our brightest camera overall this morning. 41 is the number. Clouds over downtown Portland. And again, some raindrops are being reported out at PDX right now. 44 is the temperature. This is mainly a morning shower threat. I think this afternoon we'll go on to open up some sun breaks, and we'll be mid to upper 40s with light winds. Sundown tonight now before 4:30, I meant to say, at 4:28. There are some showers this morning out east as well. And you folks are chilly today. A lot of clouds. A lot of you, Pendleton, LeGrand, Baker City. John Day Burns perhaps staying in the 30s, shy of 40. But we'll be upper 40s to nearing 50 in Salem, and about the same over at the coast today. So really not a bad day. And tomorrow another quiet day as well. 36 tonight if we have partly cloudy skies. Then we have clouds tomorrow, 48. Chance of some rain, maybe late day, but basically we're looking at Thursday to kick off a rainy stretch that will take us through Sunday with occasional shots of rainy weather. But it will be mild. You can see the temperatures this weekend in the low 50s, and here is Chris McGinnis.
Rod, thanks for that. We pick it up with a pair of traffic alerts now. The first one on the east side of Vancouver, I-205 southbound. We'll bring up the snapshot here. You can see Washout has the southbound left and center lane blocked with this crash near the 10th Street overpass, and that's got traffic really backed up. This is up near Mill Plain. You can see we're crawling along, and that extends all the way back past SR 500 right now. So the drive-in has jumped up, and I would expect it to go even higher than that right now, almost 40 minutes to get you in from Patton Parkway to the Banfield. The other trouble spot right there, looks like we've got a fender bender on the southbound Markham Bridge. Right lane is blocked, and that's having a ripple effect because it's backing up the drive now onto Interstate 84. That trip in from Troutdale has jumped up to 40 minutes at last check. Drew?
All right, thank you, Chris. Top story here at 8:30. A 69-year-old grandmother is recovering this morning after she was punched in the face while taking out her trash in Southeast Portland. This whole thing, by the way, was caught on camera.
The victim family says that the attack was completely unprovoked, and police say that the suspect is still out there. Now, we do want to warn you that the video may be hard for some to watch. It happened just after 8 a.m. last Tuesday on Southeast 122nd, just north of Powell. Security video shows the victim walking outside to take out the trash. Then the man wearing a blue jacket walks past her, turns around, walks up, and punches her. The woman falls back and the man runs away. Family members tell us that she's recovering but is in still a lot of pain. We spoke to the neighbor who caught the video on camera.
A travesty. You know, she's the nicest, friendliest person in this complex, and you know, one of the few people that I would talk to regularly. And you know, she's the last person I expected that to happen to.
So here's one more look at that suspect. The victim's family says they'd appreciate the public's help in identifying him and notifying police. Now to newly released surveillance video that shows thieves stealing from a business in southeast Portland. Authorities say they've made one arrest, but they're looking for more suspects.
This marks the first arrest and indictment under a new burglary task force that was just created last month. Back on November 13th, Portland police arrested 39-year-old Amber Turner in connection with this burglary at Mary Jane's House of Glass. Now, you don't see Turner on this video provided by police, but court documents say that she entered the store after 3 others had already broken in and stolen merchandise. Police are now trying to find the 2 men seen in this video that initially broke into the store. Portland has recorded 3,200 burglaries in just the last year. The Multnomah County District Attorney's Office, along with Portland, Gresham, the Port of Portland Police, and the Sheriff's Office in Multnomah County, all working together at this point to combat burglaries at smaller businesses.
As a city, we have to support local businesses. I think it's hugely important and impactful to the community, the local area residents that use them, community that comes here to also not only participate in businesses, but to start businesses. And I think for a long time, we haven't had the ability to focus on that because we've been focusing on other things.
Anyone with information about this particular burglary or knows about the identity of the suspects in this video is asked to email the task force. We have that email and other information available in the online version of the story at KGW.com. All right, a little sports talk this morning because the Ducks are now looking for a new offensive coordinator. That's because Will Stein is headed to the University of Kentucky. He's going to take over as the head coach for the Wildcats. Stein has run Oregon's offense for the last 3 seasons. He's actually from Kentucky, though, and played quarterback at the University of Louisville. This will be his first ever head coaching job.
And a new era of Beaver football is getting underway in Corvallis as Oregon State named Jamarcus Shepard the 33rd head coach in program history. The Beavers posting this video welcoming the Shepard family to Corvallis. According to ESPN, he's signed a 5-year contract. Shepard spent the last 2 years at Alabama as a offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach. Though he's more familiar with the Northwest than you may think. He was a former assistant at both the University of Washington and Washington State. This will be his first head coaching job. We are 66 days from the 2026 Winter Games, and the journey of the Olympic torch is underway.
Yeah, the torch will reach Italy this week, starting in Rome and eventually making its way to one of the host cities, Milan. This will be Italy's 4th Olympics, by the way. Matt Renaud shows us the torch relay and the Winter Games' long history in Italy.
In Cortina, Italy,
people during the Olympics will be mainly seated on the long side.
Giacomo Colli,
I'm born in Cortina, raised in Cortina,
says the last time Cortina hosted the Winter Olympics in 1956, his grandfather carried the Olympic torch.
My grandfather is the only person alive who carried the Olympic torch in 1956.
70 years later, Cortina and Milan are hosting the 2026 Winter Olympics, and a new torch will be passing through town.
We will unify all Italy to talk about the Olympics.
2026 Olympic Director of Ceremonies, Maria Laura Lasconi, says the torch will start in Greece.
Then the flame will go around Greece for some days.
Then travel all over Italy, stopping in more than 60 cities over 2 months.
For 63 days, we will bring the flame everywhere to create the passion and attention to the games.
And include thousands of torchbearers.
More than 10,000 torchbearers passing the flame.
On a journey through Italy that eventually will end up at the San Siro Stadium for the 2026 Olympic opening ceremony in Milan.
We will arrive on the 6th of February in this stadium to light the cauldron.
And once again, include Cortina.
And the first Olympics here in Cortina really changed the lives of people from Cortina.
Where Giacomo says his grandfather would once again love to have a chance to run.
I know for sure that my grandfather is applying again.
With the Olympic torch.
He wants to carry also the Milano Cortina 2026 one.
All right, Winter Olympics coming our way in just a few months, but let's focus on the moment, shall we? Chris McGinnis, what do you have for us?
I mean, surviving your morning drive might be considered a sport to some. Let's go ahead and check this out right now. We've got the drive times that are really starting to swell here in a lot of locations. I wanted to take you first to Vancouver. I-205 southbound now really stacked up because of this crash just south, or just north of Mill Plain, I should say. The crash scene is right there. There's the snapshot from WashDOT. You can see they've got the left center and left lane blocked. And so southbound traffic now is backed up. I mean, really backed up. This is at Mill Plain. This is back past SR 500 towards 78th Street. So extra time needed on that side of town. And we've got what looks like maybe a disabled vehicle here on the southbound span of the Marker Bridge. It's just out of range of our camera shot there, but it is backing up I-84. So now that westbound commute coming in from Troutdale, as we mentioned, has jumped up to about 40 minutes at last check. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Chris. Still ahead here on the Sunrise Show on this Giving Tuesday, we're going to let you know how you can help out some local cats and some local kittens who are in need of extra medical care. Stay with us.
Hey, our team tests tons of products. You know we only bring you the best, and I love finding you the best deals. We have an amazing one today on this product. Professor Amos's Shock It Clean Multi-Purpose Cleaner. This stuff is insane, and what I love about it, you save money because it works outside and inside on just about everything. I have this grill right here. Come on in. It is all grimed up. Watch what happens when I just do this. Look, first of all, without even doing anything, it's already, you can see, turning that bright red. Then you just take this sponge. Look at that. Look at the difference, the side by side. And I haven't even wiped it down yet. Look at this. So side by side, the grime and the clean in 2 seconds. We did the same thing to this outdoor chair. There's the before and after. And we got to go inside. You got to see what it does in there. This is my carpet at home with this huge stain on it. And I'm actually wondering if it'll come off. So I'm just going to spray a little bit like this. That's actually, believe it or not, the color of the carpet. That's not the, look at that. That's the white of the carpet. Look how it just fixed that immediately. Insane. You know, I had to come to the kitchen. We have a mock stovetop for you. What's great about this is it actually breaks down the molecular structure of the stains and grime. Crazy how well this works. And when you wipe it away, this before and after tells the entire story. We have a great savings for you today on this product. You get the 64-ounce jug, normally $49.95 today, just $31.95. That's 36% off while supplies last. Just scan the QR code on the screen or go to shoptvdeals.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
You know what today is, China Green?
What is it?
Giving Tuesday. This is the annual 24-hour event aimed at inspiring people to support nonprofits, which include nonprofits that help animals.
So Vancouver cat shelter Furry Friends relies on donations to help abused, sick, and homeless cats. Libby Dowsett has more on the shelter's need this holiday season.
The Furry Friends shelter helps cats that many other shelters won't. And they say that's because the cats may be old or sick, and it costs thousands of dollars to pay for their medical costs. So far this year, this shelter has helped more than 1,000 cats and adopted out 800 of them with the help of its 240 volunteers. The cats and kittens either stay at the shelter they call the halfway house or with fosters. Now, the organization is asking for a little help of its own. The shelter has a $10,000 fundraising goal to build and equip a medical suite on the property where cats could get vaccinated, spayed, or neutered with the help of a visiting veterinarian. Now, employees say many of the cats they help come from hoarding situations.
A lot of these cats are in terrible situation. They have all of the parasites, mites and fleas and worms, and also they all come with upper respiratory problems, and many of them need even further medical attention.
Staff say with their help, most of these cats fully recover and go on to live healthy, active lives. If you want to donate to Furry Friends, just check out their website at furryfriendswa.org. An anonymous donor with a love of cats has agreed to match donations up to $5,000. And one great example of how those donations are spent, a catio that's incredible for the cats. They get to jump and stretch their legs. For KGW News, I'm Libby Dowsett.
Well, at the risk of being greedy, I'm going to ask for more. On this Giving Tuesday, we're going to ask even more of you because we still need help with our toy drive, right? This is a live look inside our KGW Great Toy Drive toy box. We have toys, but we need more. So one of the easiest ways you can help out is hopping on to this webpage, kgw.com/toy. You can click that donate cash button. As Rod Hill often mentions, any amount makes a difference. We'll do the toy shopping for you. And this is a great week to give because Oregon Corrections Enterprises is doubling donations this week. True story, China.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can also donate the old-fashioned way. Don't forget, you can drop off new unwrapped toys at any of these locations on your screen. We're talking about local Fred Meyer stores, local IQ credit union locations, or local Toyota dealerships. There you go.
And just so you know, the Magic of Lights is back at the Oregon State Fairgrounds.
Say what?
Yeah. Now through December 8th, you can save $8 on weekday tickets. You just use the code KGW8. You can find tickets at magicoflights.com/Salem.
You know, it'd be awesome, Rod Hill, as we check you out on the weather deck this morning. You get $8 off those tickets. How cool would it be if the tickets were only $7 and then you get $1 back? I can tell you they're not $7. You're actually going to have to pay a little bit.
He's trying to do math, and he's about.
Okay, how much am I spending again? I totally got lost.
I don't know how much you're going to spend, but you're going to save $8 if you use that KGW8 code.
All right, well, that's good. I wish that worked on my income tax. Wait a minute, I put the KGW8 code in. Come on. Rick's Custom and Fencing. I'm up on the weather deck, and I'm looking around. Not a single break in the cloud cover, but the cloud deck is fairly high, good visibility over the hills. Just a gentle breeze up here, and we are dry. Big story, not only today, but this will be a continuing big story, I think multiple times this month. We're talking about the national temperature map where we continue to see cold air dropping down. It's mainly near to east of the Rockies, so it's leaving us alone. And that's a big story because we need to build a Cascade snowpack, and we need some cold air to do it. Not getting it anytime soon, it does not appear. These are current numbers, 14 up in Minneapolis, and there's a pretty good storm on the satellite radar photo that's pumping rain up through the Carolinas and Virginia. And then this is a forecast of up to 8-9 inches of snow in parts of New York State and then up into New England. So if you are traveling across the country today, maybe there are some backups of flights coming out of those big cities. You can see some snow moving across, looks like what, South Dakota too. And then where we are, this is just light stuff that's been dripping through. I mean, downtown Portland, barely enough moisture overnight to make anything wet. I'm not noticing any wetness up here in the weather deck. The radar is showing them currently that most of this precipitation is over on the toward the east side of the Cascades. There's that look of where it is fairly wet if you're driving up into the mountains this morning. Snow level is 4,000 feet, but it's such light precip we don't anticipate any issues with any of that. All right, so it's really not a bad morning. This is kind of cool because active raindrops hitting the camera lens, but partly cloudy skies looking out over the Pacific, and 46 degrees from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera. Solid clouds out over the Columbia. Good visibility this morning. Look how glassy the reflection is of the Interstate Bridge down into the water. 44 from the springs at the waterfront. We were about 10 degrees on average warmer than 24 hours ago. You will notice that as you step outdoors. 43 in Seattle, 41 in Salem, some pretty uniform numbers up and down I-5 this morning. Valley forecast trying to get up into the low 50s. Here's the Southwest Washington forecast. Both locations of the I-5 corridor expecting some afternoon sun breaks with light winds, upper 40s in Battleground today. Pretty quiet day tomorrow, 48, and then we get back to a rainy pattern starting Thursday that takes us into the weekend, but temps will be mild, 50s in the afternoon. And now it is birthday time. All right, our party today starts with Ellie. There she is, 3 today. Happy birthday to you. Charlotte now double digits, hey, 10 years old, happy birthday. Vivian celebrating a birthday today, 15. I hope you have a wonderful, very fun day. Kenna is 16 and Tiger, holiday lights here, happy birthday. Michelle is 42 and she's standing next to one of her favorite football players, it looks like. Happy birthday to you. And here comes Ben, 45 today, happy birthday to you. And that is our list, birthdays at KGW.com. And we'll celebrate with you. Here's Chris.
All right, we got good news and bad news. The good news is the traffic alert or the problem has cleared. The bad news is the backup has not. I-205 southbound right now, nearly a 45-minute ride to get you in from Patton Parkway to the Banfield. So here's the trouble. We had a crash on 205 not far from 10th Street. It looks like that's out of the way. In fact, not only that, but WashDOT's moved the camera away from the scene. So lanes are clearing, but the backup remains. In fact, this is up near Mill Plain, and the tail end of the backup is actually quite a bit slower at this point. Hopefully that drive will pick up. Also, on I-84 westbound, we had earlier trouble on I-5 southbound. That's out of the way, but the drive is a solid 40 minutes right now to get you in from Troutdale. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Quick recap of some of this morning's top local stories. More than 100 advanced practice providers with Legacy Health hit the picket line this morning. They started at 6 o'clock. The Oregon Nurses Union represents these workers, who include nurse practitioners and physician associates at Legacy Emmanuel and Legacy Good Samaritan hospitals. The union says it's been trying to negotiate a new contract for nearly 2 years, while Legacy Health says it's already offered these workers a 10% pay increase and will continue, they say, to bargain in good faith. The city of Salem passed an emergency declaration over concerns about ICE activity in the area. The declaration directs leaders in Salem to consider starting programs to protect community members and also calls for training city employees on the state's sanctuary law. Portland Mayor Keith Wilson says he reached his goal of adding 1,500 shelter beds to the city by December 1st, which was yesterday, of course. While running for mayor last year, Wilson pledged to end unsheltered homelessness in the city. And in a video statement, he says now that the city has to, quote, channel its energy into long-term solutions.
Speaking of long-term, here's the 7-day forecast.
Look at how long-term you went.
Yeah, 48 degrees out there this afternoon. The shower chances mainly this morning, and then we'll open up some sun breaks. And while there could be a shower late in the day tomorrow, the rainy pattern we're eyeing really kicks off Thursday, and that's occasional shots of some steady rain at times all the way into Sunday with mild temperatures.
The drive improving-ish. I-205 southbound's the biggest unexpected slow spot out there this morning. So we had to crash near Mill Plain. That's out of the way, but the drive time coming in from Patton Parkway up to 45 minutes to get down to the Banfield.
Jeez.
That's a lot. Finally on Sunrise, the White House opening its doors once again just in time for the holidays. Hundreds of volunteers and somebody randomly off the street who wanted to take video of this spent time over the Thanksgiving putting decorations up for the White House.
Why is it so shaky?
You would like a tripod, are you saying?
Gosh.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
we
Santa.
can afford
Maybe Santa took these pictures.
professional. Oh, maybe.
Santa would do
Maybe
it.
while he was carrying the bag of toys.
It's just some random dude named Rob who they were like, hey, take a video of this and send it to news station.
Looks pretty.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, public tours do start today, as you mentioned.
That's pretty.
So there you go. And I guess if you see it in person, it won't be as shaky.
Yeah.
You can just kind of set your eyes on that display there and take it all in.
Oh, I like the butterflies. Should I do butterflies? Should that be my theme?
China has a Christmas tree up in her house, but it's not a decorated tree.
Yeah.
It's a lit tree. You've
Lit
got
tree.
that.
It's lit. It's lit.
But
Literally.
literally lit, but does not know how to decorate it. If you have ideas for how to help China decorate her tree, you can email her. The address
I did get an email.
cgreen@kgw.com. How about that?
All right.
Thank you all for watching. Rod Hill appreciates it for one. So does that
Oh.
guy right
Oh, I
there.
like the Pioneer guy. There he is.
Old guy.
Yep.
Say old guy?
Gold.
Oh.
The gold